Oh Canada, home and native land to a watch list chock full of laughs, thrills, and earthly delights. On this IMD Brief, we present a streaming passport to just a few of our favorites from and about the world's neighbor in the north. Canada. It's the second largest country on the planet by size, yet home to only a boot 38 million people. So there's plenty of space for everyone. Perhaps that's why Canadians are so friendly.
You're lying! You're lying! I know!
Well, one thing is for sure, one of Canada's top exports is comedy. So, you do the math.
No way.
Yes way, Wayne. But what one comedy is the best at lovingly skewering its homeland's hockey and beer culture?
Just because I don't know what it is, doesn't mean I'm lying.
It's Strange Brew, which you can rent on Prime Video. Based on a sketch from SCTV, Canada's answer to SNL, Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas play Bob and Doug McKenzie as they bumble through a hammered Hamlet about a hostile takeover at a brewery.
A friend of ours, a cop, had some and he puked. And he said, come here and get free beer or he'll press charges.
More recently, some of Bob and Doug's SCTV comedian comrades moved to Schitt's Creek for a truly wonderful and hilarious 6-season run on CBC television. And you can catch most of that journey on Netflix or for free on IMDb TV.
Ew, 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 ew.
Schitt's Creek was a favorite for Best Comedy Series at the Canadian Screen Awards in 2020, but this year's ceremony had to be cancelled. The Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara Heartwarmer was not quite a shoo-in as they had stiff competition from our next watchlist-worthy series, Letterkenny. Centered on the problems that arise from Letterkenny's 5,000 residents of Hicks, Skids, and Natives, the rapid-fire comedy started small on Crave in Canada before breaking out in Season 7 as a Hulu original. And that's where you can watch the entire series now.
It's too complicated. It's like algebra. Why you gotta put numbers and letters together? Why can't you just go yourself?
From rural boroughs, we head west to the multicultural metropolis of Vancouver, a diverse city as famous for its film production as its dumplings. On the first episode of Netflix's Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner, chef and restaurateur David Chang meets up with Vancouverite Seth Rogen to learn about his passion for the city and its international culinary delights.
I swear to God, I never thought of a jelly donut as like a perfect food.
It is. It's validating that you think they're so good, because I've always thought they were so good.
For another hub of industry and filmmaking and food, did we mention food? We travel to Montreal for Season 1, Episode 6 of The Layover, available on Hulu. Visiting for slightly over 24 hours, Anthony Bourdain makes the most of his time by eating and drinking with a crazy cast of characters, who also happen to be some of the best chefs in the city.
Montreal is a chef town. It's a stay up late and have a good time town. Food and drink, that's something they do well, and often to excess here, yet always with panache.
For the Quebecois community, Montreal churns out numerous productions in French, including 2 award-winning films that broke big worldwide. Feast your eyes on Denis Arcand's The Decline of the American Empire, which you can watch on Prime Video. The 1986 talkie dramedy about sex, wine, food, and sex, plus sex, did we mention sex? Was a hit at its Cannes premiere before it took top honors at the 11th Toronto International Film Festival. One of the few Canadian films to win at Canada's premier film fest. Then the 2003 sequel, The Barbarian Invasions, which you can stream on Hoopla, throws drugs and death into the conversation for a touching next chapter. And it became the first Canadian film to win the Best Foreign Language Oscar at the 76th Academy Awards.
Il n'y a pas un autre pays qui a eu cette chance-là.
Moi, je suis né à Chicoutimi au Canada en 1950.
C'est un miracle que tu sois pas plus con que tu l'es déjà.
French and English aren't the only tongues of Canadian film, and this landmark epic was the first feature to be written, directed, and acted entirely in the Inuktitut language. Atanarjuat, The Fast Runner, which you can rent on iTunes, is also Canada's top grosser of 2002. As the world became fascinated with this ancient tale of prophecy, shamanism, and revenge. Lastly, we look to innovators of Canadian film, like Denis Villeneuve, who has since gone Hollywood with the mega budgets of Blade Runner 2049 and Dune, but began his career in native Quebec making pot-boiling mysteries and globe-trotting thrillers like 2010's Incendie, which you can rent on Prime Video or Vudu.
On a entendu.
Hold up, we're almost through. The Sweet Hereafter on Prime Video is another must-see downer, about how a tragic bus crash pulls back the veil on a not-so-perfect British Columbia town. Adam Egoyan was nominated for a Best Director Oscar in 1998 for the film, but he lost to another Canadian, James Cameron.
You settle down back there.
Guy Maddin puts Winnipeg on the map with a wonderfully weird throwback laugher about a beer baroness who is literally searching for the saddest music in the world, which you can rent on Prime Video.
What else have you got squirreled away for him?
Just one more and you can stamp your streaming passport for Canada. It's Mommy from Wunderkind director Xavier Dolan. A child actor turned festival darling, Dolan spins this striking Oedipal yarn in the millennial-friendly 1:1 aspect ratio.
Je t'aime, toi. Mais tu me fais mal. Quand ça fait mal, ça fait du bien.
Rent Mommy from Redbox or YouTube, and for more streaming passports and trending tales, stay glued to imdb.com/imdbrief.